What is going on, guys? It's Cameron, and we've got the final issue of Secret Wars, finally. And it's a little bit crazy, but believe it or not, Secret Wars has taken 8 months to finish. So the first issue of Secret Wars was 8 months ago. It feels like 4 months ago when the first issue came out, but it's double that. That is insane. And a little bit of a fun fact, this was actually supposed to go up to issue 8, but the writers wanted a little bit more time to finish Secret Wars the way they wanted to, so they added in an extra issue, which is this issue, to be able to fully complete the story. And it's just so awesome that the writers cared enough about this Secret Wars event that they asked Marvel if they could extend it to issue 9 in order to complete the story completely and finish it how they wanted it to. And for me, that just shows that they care about the story and they care about the characters so much, and yeah, it's just awesome to see that. Now, of course, guys, this is such a major comic and such a major event coming to an end that I just had to do a giveaway for it. So yes, there is a physical comic giveaway for this issue, and all you have to do to enter is like the picture of this comic on my Instagram. The link will be in the description, and that is literally it. So I'll announce the winner probably sometime within the next few weeks. But anyway, now that we've got all that out of the way, let's jump into Secret Wars issue 9, the final issue of this event. Let's get into it. So we jump into the comic, and as a final issue to Secret Wars, as something that is going to finish this huge event that's been 8 months long, it was so good. And one of the things that I truly did not expect was for Doctor Doom to be taken down so easily. Like, I was actually questioning it myself, thinking, is that actually it? But one of the things that I liked was the characters in the comic actually acknowledged that, saying that it was in fact way too easy. Now, one of the things that I want to focus on is how they actually killed him right there. Well, you know what I mean, they kind of killed him, destroyed him, whatever. And you know, like how he threw his staff at Doctor Doom to kind of shatter him? You know that whenever that happens in the movies, they always rise back up again. And when Doctor Doom inevitably resurrected himself, it really reminded me of Terminator 2 with the liquid metal Terminator. I don't know why, I just thought I'd throw that out there. Now, going off the art style and the graphics right here on this page, just the little details like the Infinity Gauntlet smoking like that was just so awesome to see. Almost as if you could see the power bleeding out of the Infinity Gauntlet after what he just did to Doctor Doom and how they did like that little face-off or whatever it was. It was just so awesome. So anyway, as we get further into the comic, we join Reed and Reed, aka the Maker, bumping into Susan and Valeria, and I genuinely thought that Susan was going to recognise Reed and instantly know who he was, but they kind of gave us a little bit of a twist and a little bit of a sharp turn, and took it the opposite direction, with her actually thinking that Reed Richards killed Doctor Strange. And one of the things that I love about this comic is that you can see Black Panther and Doctor Doom fighting between these conversations with Reed Richards and Susan. And I just love how insistent Reed Richards is at saying that Doctor Doom is not a god and he's calling him Victor, and just being so strict knowing that he's not a god. Now, one of the things that I was kind of a bit disappointed with was that Reed Richards didn't explain to Susan that he was her husband and stuff like that. I mean, I feel like we would have got a little bit of a better reaction from Susan that we could have utilised in the comic to give a little bit more emotion. Now, obviously, it was still so awesome when Reed Richards said that he was the guy who fixes things, but I think it would have made for such a bigger impact if he actually said, "No, Susan, I am your husband." Much like the Darth Vader, Luke, I am your father thing, but, you know, like Susan and Richard and that, you know, yeah. But anyway, moving on, so as you can see on screen, the ultimate Reed Richards, aka the Maker, actually betrayed our Reed Richards, the 616 Reed Richards, and you can see that they've actually gone and introduced themselves to the Molecule Man, and they didn't bring him any food. Now, everyone knows that Miles Morales actually took him a hamburger a few issues ago, and I just loved the look that the Molecule Man gave the Maker when the Maker said who would be interested in a wimpy god. And you could see the Molecule Man in the background say, "Me," and he had like this really sinister look on his face. And whilst all this was going on, Black Panther was actually battling with Doctor Doom, and I thought it was so awesome how Doctor Doom caught the Infinity Gauntlet in his hand and then just continued to beat the absolute crap out of Black Panther. And at the end of the day, it was so cool how Black Panther kept a smiling face knowing that he was distracting Doom from Reed Richards. Now, you could see Doctor Doom's face pretty much go into absolute shock, knowing that all this time, whilst he's been battling Black Panther, Reed Richards could have been up to anything. And I don't know what it is about seeing Doctor Doom and everything crumble around him, because you kind of feel for Doctor Doom, you kind of understand him, but at the same time, you want him to fail. So we can see on screen that Valeria and Susan know the truth that Doctor Doom murdered Doctor Strange, and Doctor Doom kind of just accepts that, but you can see that the comic is gradually getting worse for Doctor Doom. Like, he's already losing Battleworld, armies are actually coming towards him to battle him, and now he's lost Susan and Valeria as well, and it's all because of Reed Richards. And what you've got to think about is that this is the first time that Doctor Doom has felt vulnerable within the 8 years that Battleworld has been around. And pretty much the moment Reed Richards shows up, everything starts falling apart. Everything that Doctor Doom has maintained is coming to an end, and he doesn't like that. So one of the best parts of the comic in my opinion is this reveal right here where Molecule Man actually takes the power away from Doctor Doom because Doctor Doom didn't bring him any food either. So both Reed Richards and Doctor Doom didn't bring him any food, which pretty much makes them equals and therefore able to fight each other equally. Now one thing you can't forget about is that Reed Richards was there to convince Molecule Man that there was a better option than having Doctor Doom run Battleworld. And pretty much what's going on right now is Molecule Man is watching these two characters fight each other to determine if there actually is a better option than Doom. And I thought that was such a groundbreaking moment in this comic. Now as for Doctor Doom as a character, he genuinely thinks that he's done the right thing. Like sure he hasn't done it well, he's created Battleworld and he's made himself a god. But he truly has saved millions of lives from all of the incursions that were happening earlier on before Secret Wars started, and he even saved multiple superheroes that I'm pretty sure he would hate. But you can kind of see from Doctor Doom's perspective that he has actually done some good, and I think that says a lot about what kind of character Doctor Doom actually is. Now as we begin to go into the major part of the comic, you can see on screen that Doctor Doom actually agrees that he thinks that Reed Richards could have done a better job if he had the power to save the universes, and that is actually where Doctor Doom slips up. Molecule Man pops in and says, well, if you guys agree, and then he just obliterates Battleworld, takes the power away from Doom. And in case any of you guys don't actually know what's going on or understand what Molecule Man is doing, the way I see it is he's pretty much making everything the way Reed Richards would have saved everybody. Because obviously there wasn't only one way to save everybody. Like sure you had to save everybody by putting them all in one universe, but you didn't have to make yourself a god and have different sections of universes and all that crazy stuff. And so it makes sense as to why the all new, all different Amazing Spider-Man comics, the all new, all different Spider-Man 2099 comics, and all the other comics that are related to the all new, all different Marvel Universe all seem normal. It's because if Reed Richards had the power to save all the universes just like Doctor Doom did, he would have made everything go back to normal, and the only difference is he saved all the other people from the other universes. That's why Miles Morales is living alongside the Amazing Spider-Man now. That's why Spider-Man 2099 and many other characters are all living in the same universe. As to what we just saw on screen there with Black Panther using the Infinity Gems, it was either the Time Gem or the Reality Gem, depending on whether it was orange or yellow, but I'm not too sure whether he used it to do anything then. Did he just have it in his hand and it like obliterated? Or did he actually use that to teleport to Wakanda? Maybe you guys can fill me in on that, because I'm not too sure. Anyway, something that I totally didn't expect, and something that seems to be quite interesting, is that it looks to be that everyone from Wakanda and Black Panther and all of that seem to be rebuilding the universe with Molecule Man, or rebuilding alternate universes, or something along those lines, and that's actually a pretty awesome idea. Maybe you guys can give your thoughts on that and tell me what you think about it. But now we head on over to 8 months later. So in case any of you guys didn't know, the all new, all different Amazing Spider-Man comics and pretty much every comic that starts with all new, all different Marvel Universe takes place 8 months after Secret Wars ended. I actually explained that in my all new, all different Amazing Spider-Man issue 1 review when it first released months ago. So on screen right now we're seeing this really incredible moment with Molecule Man saying that he owed Miles Morales for giving him the hamburger a few issues ago, because Miles Morales was actually the only person to give Molecule Man some food. And so when the universes were saved and Secret Wars ended and all that awesome stuff, Molecule Man brought Miles Morales' mother back to life. And that's why Miles Morales' mother is alive in the End of Ultimate End issue 5. And also in Miles' new series which releases next month called Spider-Man, which I will also be reviewing by the way. Now it's going to be interesting to see how Spider-Man Miles Morales and obviously Spider-Man Peter Parker fit into the same universe, because obviously Spider-Man 2099 is also in that universe as well. So it should be good to see how each Spider-Man fits into this new universe that they're staying in, and how they're kind of going to coexist with each other. But before I forget guys, I need to let you know that I actually previewed Miles Morales' new series on my Facebook page, so you can click the link in the description to go to my Facebook page, and if you scroll down a little bit it'll just be there. You should check it out, it's pretty awesome. Anyway, moving on throughout the issue even more, we're now kind of going into the little bit of the epilogue of the comic where we're joining the Fantastic Four with Susan, Valeria, Reed Richards and a few others. And one of the things that I want to point out is just how light and colourful the comic seems to be right now. Now that Battleworld has ended, Doctor Doom is somewhere else that isn't on here, everything seems very happy and kind of like it's the end of an era kind of thing, you know, like we're going into like a new chapter of comics, which we actually are because of the all new, all different Marvel Universe has just been created. And so we also see the Fantastic Four retiring from being the Fantastic Four. They're actually going back to just being scientists and just being normal people, and kind of seeing Battleworld / Secret Wars as their final act as heroes, but they can still be good guys as scientists. So that's going to be interesting to see Fantastic Four coming back into that and seeing how they get on in the future, because as of right now they are pretty much helping Molecule Man create new universes, and as you can see Molecule Man is splitting himself off and being sent with those ideas of universes and imagination to help create life throughout universes, alternate universes, multiple universes, and who knows, Fantastic Four might even like end up being like a space battle team, kind of like Guardians of the Galaxy. I don't know, I'm just throwing ideas out there. But we also get this small little snippet of Doctor Doom at the end, who seems to be all good and well, and he actually removes his mask. Now, I don't know whether that's him maybe giving up being Doctor Doom, I highly doubt it, but you can see that his face is like all normal, which is pretty weird. Maybe that's something Molecule Man did for Doctor Doom to kind of say, you didn't totally lose because I gave you a new face. Like, has Doctor Doom got his face back to normal in the comics before this? Because obviously I don't follow Doctor Doom in the comics all the time, so I don't know whether he's got his face back to normal like that ages ago or whether it's just happened. But he's laughing and it's pretty weird to see him smile. But that brings me over to, is this Doctor Doom the Doctor Doom out of the Invincible Iron Man comics I've been reviewing? Because if it is, he's pretty powerful in that series. And one of the things that I'm actually looking forward to is characters from Secret Wars that have actually been out of it or they're even more powerful than ever before. They can now go back to being in series like Invincible Iron Man. Doctor Doom is in Invincible Iron Man and he just seems like a normal character. He doesn't seem like the character who created Battleworld, who nearly obliterated everybody and went all crazy. So it's going to be interesting to see how all of these characters coming out of Secret Wars develop into their own relationships and kind of go back to normal. Like, will they remember Secret Wars? We know that the Fantastic Four do, and we know that Miles Morales kind of does. I think he actually does. I think I read somewhere that he does. So we'll see how he gets on in his next series next month. But what did you guys think? That is the end of the issue. Let me know what you thought in the comments section below. I'm going to give this issue a 9 out of 10. The art style was awesome, and I really liked how the colours developed over time, becoming brighter as the comic got towards the end. Especially when Reed Richards and Doctor Doom were fighting. Like at the very beginning of the comic, they were in like the wasteland in the middle of the battle. Everything was dirty and dark. And then in the end, we ended up on a rooftop with Miles Morales and 616 Peter Parker standing over the sunset on a building. And then we ended up with multiple colours with the Fantastic Four in the sky, creating new universes. Now, as a final issue to Secret Wars, I really feel like they gave and put absolutely everything into this comic. The writers were amazing, even just because they extended this series to 9 issues instead of keeping it 8 and rushing the story. You can tell they truly cared about it and they wanted to finish it the way they intended to. And so far, with All New, All Different Amazing Spider-Man and All New, All Different Spider-Man 2099 and all of the other new series that have just been released, it seems like this Marvel Universe reboot that they've done is going really, really well so far. So we can only wait and see as to what's going to happen in the future. But there actually has been a huge Marvel reveal saying Dead No More. Now, the character who's Dead No More hasn't been revealed yet, but you can check it out on my Facebook page to see what I think about it and to see what characters are in theory, what are going around the internet right now. So go check that out, the link will be in the description. And of course, guys, don't forget about the giveaway on my Instagram. All you have to do is like the picture of the comic and that is it. But anyway, guys, that is the end of the review. To keep up to date on my videos, follow me on Twitter to hear about what comics I'm reviewing on the day. And of course, if I'm having any problems, like right now as I'm saying this, it is 1 in the morning, so yeah. You can also follow me on my Facebook page to stay up to date on all the latest comic book news and updates. Like I've just said, Marvel just released a teaser saying Dead No More, and I actually posted that on my Facebook page, so go check that out. And of course, the main thing, guys, subscribe for more comic book reviews, gameplay videos, all that crazy stuff. Hit the like button on this video, and I'll see you all later.
Halfway up to space.